Now, I don't know about you, but it feels as if every other week you're hearing about a couple that's breaking up because of money. Money played an issue, and now they're walking their separate ways. And that's not really a good thing, is it? It's sad to hear, but it is reality. And so today, what we're going to really talk about, I guess, is just 5 things that we feel, 5 money issues that we feel can lead to breakups with couples. And if one of these applies to you, then what we encourage you to do effectively is just take some action, whatever that action looks like, to try and solve that particular area so that you and your partner can work more together as a team when it comes to money, and money being the thing that stops coming between the two of you. So, what's the first thing?
So for me, the first thing is debt. Now, I feel like debt is it's very contentious in relationships because it causes a lot of financial stress and it causes a lot of tension, especially if the couple decide, like, let's not talk about it. Let's just bury our heads in the sand. It then becomes like a third party in the relationship, like an elephant in the room. And the thing with debt is it weighs so heavy when you've got debt, and it causes you to sometimes it causes you to not sleep, or it causes you to argue. It causes all these things that are not needed for your relationship. And I'd always say that if you have debt in your relationship, the best thing you can do, besides paying it off, because you get to the point of paying it off, the best thing you can start by doing is to face it head on. Don't ignore it. Don't then treat it like it's not there. Don't get the letters that say final notice and just I'm not dealing with this, I can't be bothered, because it will still bother you. You may think, okay, I just can't bother to deal with it, but guaranteed you'll still think about it, because the more letters you're receiving, the more final notices, the more letters you get that say you've got debt and stuff, the more you think about it. You're sort of like transferring all your energy to this debt. Yet really, if you face it head on, you could find ways to deal with it. You may not get rid of it in a month. It may take you 6 months, it may take you a year, but you will eventually get rid of it. But the reason why it can lead to breakups is if you do not talk about it, you ignore it, you just treat it like it's not there. It's there, and it will be evident.
Yeah, and it can get tricky as well if this debt is something that one of you brought on into the relationship. But 100%, this is a very, very big topic that, we could go on and on about the impacts of debt in a relationship. In fact, we did have this discussion in a previous video, so check that out. The second thing that I would say is having very different money goals.
Yeah.
So when it comes to money, right, I think a lot of couples kind of only think about paying bills. As long as the bills are paid, we're okay. But actually, what about your money goals? What about the things that you want to accomplish and achieve?
Yeah.
So say, for instance, that your dream is to buy a house and to own the house that you're living in, but your partner's like, yeah, okay, I agree, but then I would prefer to travel, for example. And in that scenario, I mean, if you earn enough to do both, happy days. But for some couples, that's not a reality, right? You kind of earn enough to either focus on one of them in a realistic manner. So you then end up thinking to yourself, what should we prioritize? But not having that conversation about what are the money goals that we each want, but then what are the money goals that we're both working together on. Now, the reason why this can potentially lead to breakups is because when you're now looking at things like, I guess, looking at your life and looking at the things you've accomplished and achieved, you start to feel a bit like, well, we haven't done this thing that I really wanted to do. And like, I feel like we're not on the same page here about what we're saving up for or what we're putting our money towards. And again, that can lead to disagreements. That can lead to you feeling as if, you're not supportive of each other from a money perspective. And also lead to the fact that you're just feeling like, you know what, I'm in this relationship, but I'm just not getting the life that I want or building the things that I want to do because we're just not in agreement about the things that we're going to work towards. And that's a big problem with that.
And I think sometimes with people or couples, when you think of the term money goals or financial goals, at times it can seem like a boring thing to people, right? Like it doesn't sound as sexy as going on holiday, for example. But take out the sort of like professionalism of the word, or like the seriousness of the word, and just think of it as, what do I want to do with my money? So if you're thinking, well, I'd like us to go on holiday, that's a goal that you have for the year. Like, this year we're going on holiday. That's technically a money goal. So like you were saying, it's good for you to then have financial goals that, number one, are aligned, and have financial goals that you support each other with, because as much as we're married and as much as we're a couple, not all our financial goals are the same, because then you still have your goals that you want to reach and ones that I want to reach. But then what we do is we talk about them, and then I will be in the know of your money goals and you're in the know of my money goals. And then now as we're working together as a team, we're sort of figuring out like, okay, how do I support you to reach yours and you support me to reach mine, whilst also making sure that we're reaching the financial goals that we've set together, and how do we get there? But I think it all starts with, don't take the term too seriously and think, oh, goals, here we go again, every year new goals, it's a bit boring. Just take that out of it and think, what sort of things do you want to achieve with your money as a couple? So the third money issue that can lead to breakups is lack of communication. Now, I feel like we say this one a lot, like, you need to communicate. And maybe sometimes people feel like, oh, they're always saying communicate. But genuinely what we're saying is you need to talk about your money, right? Talk about your money as a couple. Talk about the money that you have, or the money that you're bringing in, money that you're spending as well, or money that you intend to spend on various things during the year. The thing is, when you don't communicate about things, you find that maybe one's thinking, well, this is what we're doing with our money, and you're probably thinking, this is what we're doing with our money. And we might start doing those things with the money, but then what then happens is I'll look at you and think, but why are you doing that with our money?
Yeah.
But did we even bother having a conversation? No, we didn't. So that's where the problem is. Talk about your money, like literally talk about it so openly that you don't leave any stone unturned. Like, you're in the know about everything. And I say this in particular for couples that have joint money, as well as couples that don't necessarily manage their money jointly, because it's all good to be in the know what's happening with money that's coming into the household. But if you are managing your money jointly, please speak about money so openly, because it's both your money at the end of the day. You're looking at it as one pot of money that's for the both of you. And if you're a couple that doesn't manage your money jointly, it's still important to be in the know of what's going on. Because I'd hate to be in a situation where, okay, we've decided we're just gonna pay for bills together and then we keep the rest. Then I'm doing my own thing with money and you're not in the know. You'd sort of feel left out, like, what's going on? What's going on here? Like, why do I not know what's going on with someone I'm in a relationship with? So this is why I'm big on like communicating about money.
One of the best ways to actually learn how to communicate together as a couple when it comes to finances is to learn how to budget together as a team. And one of the things that we've got is a free guide that you can download that will give you all the things that you need to learn, effectively just about your options of the best way to budget together, how to successfully do it. When you budget together as a team, as a couple, that effectively puts you in a position where you have to talk about money and you have to communicate in a way that works for the both of you. So check out the link in the description for you to download, or go to skillfinances.com/free couples budget, and there you will be able to download the PDF that will effectively give you the starting point of how to budget together as a couple in a way that works for the both of you, and that will then get you to talk about money in a very productive way. The fourth money issue that I feel can lead to breakups is actually power struggles.
Right.
Now, this happens particularly if the money that you earn between you and your partner is quite different. So you say you earn £25,000 and your partner earns £80,000, which is a common thing amongst couples, by the way. And it might be a case where, you know, that difference can lead to some struggles or some tension in the relationships in many ways. So one example of that might be that the partner who earns more feels like, I'm paying for everything, you know, and like, yes, I understand I earn more money than my partner, but why is it that I'm paying for everything? You know, surely they can pay for something as well.
Yeah.
Or the partner who earns less might feel like, my partner always wants us to go on date nights or travel a lot and all the rest of it, but they don't realize I don't earn the same money as them, so I can't afford all of these things. And there's so many different things like that that could happen because of the, you know, income difference that may happen. But there might be also differences, you know, regarding from a power struggle perspective, just regarding, say, the person who has a certain level of, I guess, affiliation. Say for example, I'm an investor, right? And I want to invest my money and I'm so keen on investing, but Lindy isn't. And that situation can also create some sort of a struggle there, because it's not a struggle in terms of income, but it's a struggle in terms of like, I know investing is a good thing and I want us to do it, but then my partner is just not for it. And that can then create that kind of struggle that we're talking about here of like, who then wins that situation, right? Because Obviously, it's not a fight, it's not a battle, but then at the end of the day, are you going to be investing your money or not based on, who has the more voice in the relationship? And that can lead to a lot of situations. If you're in a position, what I'd say is, be open and honest about how you feel, about your thoughts, and then try and find a way that actually works for the both of you. And by that, I mean, just find a way that you won't feel that struggle, right? Find a way to then come to an agreement to say, right, okay, I earn more than you, but I feel like I would be more comfortable if you at least paid for this, that, and the other. Or the other partner might say, you know what, I understand that you always want us to go out and eat out, but can we maybe just plan it ahead so that I can budget my money better and do it maybe once a week rather than ad hoc no matter how we feel, we're going to go out kind of thing. And it's conversations like that will then help you to at least negate those struggles and then find a way that actually works for the both of you and reduce that tension that comes with this.
The fifth money issue that can lead to breakups is financial infidelity. Now, if you're thinking about financial infidelity and thinking, well, what's that? Similar to infidelity in a relationship, when it comes to the financial sides, it's things like hiding money from your partner, not being honest about maybe bank accounts or investments that you have, or not truly just being open and honest about your money in general. The thing with money is it's such an emotional thing, and it's an emotional topic when you're then dealing with it in a relationship. So the same sort of emotions that you have in a relationship, like trust and things like that, then also apply when you've now got money involved as well. So you can imagine if your partner doesn't know that, okay, you're now earning more money, you've chosen not to tell them, you've chosen to hide it from them. The minute they then find that out, it's then like, hold on a minute. Why did I not know that you were earning more? Why did you not feel the need to be open and honest with me about how much more you're earning? And what exactly have you been doing with that money? So it then causes the trust to then be broken in the relationship. Now, you were probably thinking, well, it's just money. What I'm hiding is just money. It's nothing to do with everything else. It's just the money. But now you've brought all these other emotions into it, like lack of trust, or not just now not believing anything that you're doing when it comes to money. So that's the thing with financial infidelity. It touches on other emotions and not just the money. And the one way to avoid financial infidelity is to just be honest. If you're really honest with your partner about this bank accounts or the extra money that you're earning or whatever it is to do with money, like, oh, the debt. And debt is a big one because sometimes people aren't honest about debts that they're bringing into a relationship or debts that they've started to get whilst in the relationship. If you're honest about these things, it can help you not to get to a point where trust is being questioned when it comes to money. And the problem with trust is the minute it's questioned with one thing, it's like, well, if you're doing this with money, what are you doing with everything else outside of money as well? So that's one thing to think about.
Yeah, so those are the 5 money issues that we wanted to bring to your attention today. Effectively, the point of this discussion was to highlight them, but also to then say that if you are in this position right now, you still have time to fix it. You still have time to change things in your relationship and turn things around. Now, we'd love to know in the comments if you have overcome one of these areas. So if you have anything to add to this conversation, let us know in the comments and we will chat to you there. It's been a pleasure talking to you today. We'll see you on the next one.